are against sex trafficking, the WEF makes demands for sex workers during the Davos meetings each year. And due to that, and many of those people doing that, the sales for that industry skyrockets, which also, happens to entail pimping, by the way, which has all been legal since 1943 in Switzerland. Now, the sex workers that are often hired or ordered are labeled as prostitutes, or in this case, they're generally labeled by these people as escorts at this specific gathering at Davos, Switzerland. And that's in the hundreds that are ordered. Don't you find it funny, since the WEF is supposedly so against sex trafficking, that they have all these prostitutes or escorts ordered during this time or hired? But before we get any more into this, though, let's Now, what is Davos? For those of you who don't know, Davos is a forum/event that happens every year where members of the World Economic Forum, or the WEF, gather, and those are people like wealthy politicians of the world, big businessmen, celebrities, etc., or the elites of the world. People like Klaus Schwab, the WEF leader, Bill Gates, Boris Johnson, Tom Hanks, etc. Now, they gather here for discussing things like social issues, global warming, climate lockdowns, etc. I find it funny how, despite this and how much you would think they'd want the world to know about what they're discussing, that they don't really allow many people in that are part of the press, especially, independent ones. It's all the ones that have a buttload of money. You'd think they want to get more coverage of this and let those people report on it. They don't really do that, nor do they even really bother to talk to them. Like the Pfizer CEO didn't really do it neither while he was there. He just completely ignored them pretty much for the most part from all the videos and reports that I'd seen. Independent journalist centers are often made up of many people that want to see healthy change in the world, and some of the most, actually, as they're not biased towards specific people/businesses, etc., because they have to get their funding independently. They don't have all this money, so they're not gonna be biased towards people that, donated hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to them simply for that matter. They're getting their money from those they help and the people, their niche or their audience. So naturally, they're gonna want what's best for them, because they're hardworking people who are affected by everything in the world, all the economics and all that stuff. Yet the members and the leader of this forum won't even let them in for press coverage. Yet again, even really talk to them. That's really weird, isn't it? Just some food for thought. Now, back to the main topic here about sex trafficking/prostitution. The global elite tackling the world's greatest problems, including gender inequality, at the Davos summit are fueling a surge in prostitution in the Swiss resort town. Demand for sex work skyrockets each year at the meeting of the world leaders and business tycoons who jet in from all around the world to rub shoulders with each other. Escorts are booked into the same hotels as high-powered bosses and their employees during the 5-day summit, which started on January 16th. In 2020, a Swiss law enforcement official told the Times of London that at least 100 sex workers traveled to Davos in anticipation of the week-long event. Funny how so against sex trafficking they are, yet there's so many of them booking prostitutes and sex workers in general, specifically during this event, and the influx also of those people traveling to there or staying in hotels nearby during that time, during the WEF Davos Forum. Now, it's kind of hypocritical that they'd be doing that, isn't it? Don't you think? Bosses book escorts in the hotel suite for themselves and their employees. A manager of an escort service told the Swiss newspaper 20 Minutin. The manager told the sex workers that their services would be in high demand for the next several days. Kind of funny, isn't it? They have a decent amount of articles on their website which says that they're so against sex trafficking, yet here they are in a country that seemingly allows pimping/joning, which is one of the key elements in sex trafficking. Then 2, every year that this WEF event is scheduled, sex work sales boom, with over 100 plus escorts, prostitutes, etc. being booked by members of the WEF, the big CEOs, politicians, individuals, etc., for themselves or their employees. Now here's something to think about. One official driver for the forum said he picked up one sex worker who claimed she had been forced by her, in quotes, boss to sleep with an older client at a delegate's hotel. Now, do you really think that it only happened one time during this whole event? Realistically speaking, think about it. Think about it logically. So first we take the number of reported rapes, or last reported, which was in 2020, which is 50.35 per 100,000 people, and you take that 50.35 and then multiply it by how many increments of 100,000 is in the total population, which is 8,740,472. So that would be roughly 87.407. So then you take 50.35, then multiply it by 87.407, which gives you roughly 4,401 people in 2022, which is reported, by the way, were raped in Switzerland. That just gives you a rough idea. Now, we're using stats from 2022 because of the fact that there's babies that are born, obviously between this report in 2022 and 2023. So to give a little bit more of a better estimate roughly on all of these people that are being raped, we just use 2022 stats so that way there'd be enough gap for the babies, because it's a lot less likely for it to happen to a baby, but these kind of, make it a little bit more realistic than including all those from 2023, because the population result from 2023 is going to be including a lot of babies, you feel me, or people that aren't really too old. So it just kind of gives you a little bit more of a better number than if, we sat there and used the ones from 2023, because people have hundreds of thousands to millions of babies a year, even in countries, Now take that 4,401 divided by 375, or days in a year, equals approximately 11.736 people raped per day. Then we take that, then we multiply that times 5, is 5 days, or the number of days there was at the Davos event, which equals approximately 58.68 people reported to be raped during the time frame of the event. Now, we all know that that's not nearly accurate enough, simply because of the fact of the matter that not enough people report on these things because they feel shame or afraid to address it and to report it to the authorities. And the fact of the matter that I can't really have too many updated statistics on how many people are raped as of 2023, because they haven't really released that much on that. And again, those would be just on what's reported. Now, there's a lot that do go unreported, and that's just from knowledge on how it is here in the US. I know that's how it's going to be in other countries across the world, because it's a huge thing in psychology. People feel shame and just fear, guilt, etc. They feel disgusted with themselves after they're raped, and a lot of them don't really want to talk about that because of that, or because they're just so goddamn scared that something else is going to happen to them or somebody that they love. Given how many uber rich people with lots of power/influence are there, it's pretty unlikely that it's just happening one time. The reason why I say that is because many of us know how twisted/insane or sick people can be when they have lots of money and power. The things that it does to a lot of people is crazy, and we can see prime examples of it with people like Jeffrey Epstein, celebrities, career politicians, etc. We've seen it on the news and throughout history. You know what else is fucked up? The fact that you guys haven't hit the like button or smashed that subscribe button yet. The WF thinks it's crazy you guys haven't done that yet. With all joking aside though, my dudes, it really does help us out here on this channel. It also helps to get us further up in that algorithm, which in turn gets this information out to even more people and lets them know it's okay to think independently about these things going on and to question these systems we live in addition to let them know what's happening out there in the world. But with that being said though, let's go ahead and hop right back on into the video. Now, the reason why I did that math earlier and brought up those really rough statistics, again, I'm not going to say that they are the most accurate, but they give you a general idea of how many people are raped on a daily basis there in Switzerland. It's to stress how there was more than just one individual sex worker raped or forced to have sex with a client by her boss. That's sex trafficking at its core. That's what happens in sex trafficking roughly 75% of the time. That's the average scenario. Now, again, I just find it so funny that they are so against sex trafficking, yet they have this stuff happening and they host in a place where sex workers are prevalent and there are forms of pimping / johnning there. It's pretty hypocritical when they say that they are so against sex trafficking to be doing all this stuff, ordering prostitutes and escorts as they call them, etc., for themselves, other politicians, CEOs, or even their own employees to do all this stuff and to essentially, quite a few cases probably, have them do stuff that they're not comfortable with or to have them forced to do things by their bosses or their pimp / John. It's just kind of hypocritical in general to have sex working stuff like this going on and the prostitutes being there or the escorts, etc. You can't sit here and say that, oh hey, we're so against sex trafficking, but then allow stuff like this to happen in a place where it's pretty common for pimping and johnning to occur. Now, I'm not against sex working or people that are in that field or want to pursue that. As long as everybody is being safe, taking care of themselves, not harming other people, and, you know, being smart about everything, then I personally don't care. Like, I have had a couple of friends that do that stuff and they were all, you know, really good people and they were being safe and smart about it and they didn't really have people trying to do anything with them like that. So I didn't really need to worry about them, you feel me? That's all that matters. As long as people are being safe and responsible, that's truly all that should matter. But I don't ever condone or support pimping, johnning, etc. People just having their bosses, people that tell them where to go, etc., etc. It's okay in my mind to, you know, have amateur porn, things like OnlyFans where it's pay for service, you feel me, or like some sort of content creation. I'm a content creator, you feel me? That's a thing that people do and that's fine and dandy. I'm fully supportive of people that they want to do that. That's whatever, as long as, again, nobody's being harassed, hurt, etc. That's all that I really give a shit about. And if you involve pimps and johns or people that send people out to go do that stuff, you know, I don't really fucks with that. I'm more the type where I would much rather prefer the women to be in a location where they have access to get help or somebody can come help them really quickly in a dire pinch where they might be getting raped or vice versa. When they go out, it's not as likely to be safe, you know? And when you have bosses telling you where to go and who to sleep with, all that stuff, it doesn't really sound like it's their choice necessarily, you know? It's more, oh, well, they want this money and all that, so they're gonna make you go out here. A lot of people reported in situations like this in Switzerland that they didn't really get their money. It went to their bosses, which is pimping, which is sex trafficking. They should get a fair amount of their cut, or if not, you know, like the majority of it, shouldn't they? But nonetheless though, I'm not really for hypocrisy when they sit there and support this stuff like this and have these events in places where that stuff goes on and it's pretty common, you know, and a thing. They say, oh, they have policies and they're illegal and against and all that, and there's been cases where they've shown that it's not actually the case in a lot of different places in Switzerland. They've had events like pimping and johnning happen quite frequently and people have not gone punished by it. They have pretty, not really strict set rules around what the whole prostitution entails, or what legal prostitution is. It's kind of merging the sex trafficking aspects and like pimping and johnning with like what would be safe prostitution. You know, mind you, they do have some things that can be pretty safe there, like the brothels and all that stuff, but again, there's the pimping and the johnning aspect of it. But how can we trust people that do that stuff in places like that and are hypocritical, you know, and say that they're for something or that we should do it, and then they go in support the opposite they say that, you know, we all should not be doing? You can see with like all the global warming issues and the climate stuff, they sit there and say, oh, we need to reduce our carbon footprints. People, you know, don't need cars, they don't need to use that, and because we're polluting so much. Yet you have the plastic industry, which is polluting more than any other fucking group of people. They are the main contributors. They sit there and make the freaking island of plastics in the ocean a thing, like Coca-Cola. We did a video on that. Or how the fact of the matter that over 1,000+ people for the Davos event are flying in on private jets. That doesn't really seem to reduce a carbon footprint now, does it? But that's enough of what I think. What do you guys think though? My adoring tribe members, new viewers, fans, etc. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, if you guys did make it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave the word hypocrite in the comment section down below to let me know that you made it in and that you guys are part of the 100% club. Also, if you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to hit the like button and smash the shit out of that subscribe button. It really does help us a lot here whenever you guys do it. It helps us to get further up in the YouTube algorithm, to let others know it's okay to think independently of these systems that we live in and to question them, and all these people that are in these positions of power which can influence the world around us and influence our daily lives. That's pretty normal. It's part of having a scientific mind, or having a very human mind, to question the things that go on around you on a frequent basis. But if you guys want a more interactive experience with us, come join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Central Time on here and my Twitch or Facebook channels, where we stream. We play video games like Pokemon Unite, vibe out, talk about conspiracies, and just have a good time, you know, and make some funny ass fucking jokes about this shit going on. But would love to always have more people in there, because the more the merrier. Also, if you guys would like, we do have our tribe Discord where we stream movies and anime, documentaries talking about stuff like this, etc. on movie/weeb night, and that's every other Friday. We just had one recently, quality stuff, and we also, you know, do things like share dark humor memes, talk about conspiracies with factual like backing and validation, spiritual discussions, and just, you know, vibe out and have a good time and like share a sense of community. Would love to have more people inside that tribe. Nonetheless though, my dudes, until next time though, please don't forget to live long and prosper, take care and peace, keep it 1,000,000% real, and remember, fuck the system. I'll see you guys on the flip side.